It's just like, no problem. I'll ring you. I'll ring you if it is that he wants the room and stuff anyway to reconfirm. But as long as you've got it for 2 nights.
To do before tomorrow, Dave. What's so important for you to do for tomorrow?
Well, for some reason the bike's just got a lot more fuel consumption. We are having to run bigger jets, that's basically the reason, but it's a lot more, and I'm going to have to make my fuel tank a bit bigger just to be on the safe side that we'll get through, you know.
It's quite strange, isn't it? Because you said it's a lot bigger, not just a bit bigger, but a lot bigger with the jets. Okay, we were just talking, you put a little bit of the fat down to the fact that the weather's a bit cooler, but it shouldn't make that much difference, should it?
Shouldn't it really, but the engine's in exactly the same state of tune as we ran in '99. The bike is lighter, if anything. We're running the same gearing, everything is revving the same. But it's gasping for more fuel, you know. We've gone, in technical terms, from a 132 main jet, which we ran in '99, to a 145, which is quite a massive jump, you know yourself.
So how much bigger will you have to make the fuel tank to compensate for that?
I'm going to have to get at least half a gallon on it. So I'm going to have to find maybe 2 or 3 areas on it. I can just add a bit here and a bit there, but the more the better, really.
Is that all work you do yourself?
Pardon?
Is that all work you do yourself, actually altering the fuel tank?
Oh yeah, I had another guy ring up this morning and he said, Dave, I'm in panic stations and in my tank repairing, so I'm not that keen on doing it, but it's got to be done, hasn't it? You know?
Answer me this, Dave. Once you've got the tank off and you're going to modify it, you're going to sort of cut it open and start welding it. What do you do to treat it, to stop it, make it to become neutral so it's not going to catch on fire?
God, I could tell you a great story, but I'll not go into it. It's too long. Apart from blowing myself halfway across the garage one year. But no, we put it on a car exhaust. That just you know, defumes it. Then I stick a welding torch in the top and it just flashes the flame out the top a bit. You get real Heath Robinson stuff, you know, and get on with it.
Yeah.
But no, I did have a bit of a garage accident on Thursday afternoon. We were filling our fuel tank up just before going out and it started to leak. So I said to the lads, quick, get it off, and we just stuck a jet wash down it, thinking that would be enough. This was like before we knew what we were really doing. I started welding and the bloody thing blew up and threw me across the garage, and ended up in hospital. But it was '93. I went out on the Saturday and won, and won again on the Monday. So
sometimes you need something like that, don't you? Just a bit of a kick.
Put you into place.
I was very excited yesterday. I was at Glen Helen doing the commentary, and you came past there as fast as usual, smack online and everything. Then all of a sudden, you didn't make Ramsey. You stopped yesterday.
Yeah, we had an unusual ignition fault. It's not it's never happened to me before, and it very rarely happened to anybody else, but it has happened before. An ignition pickup, which is only a little tiny, like 10 pounds worth of component, and it broke down. It's just an instant big misfire at Rencullen, and then engine cut out completely. So a bit disappointing because we were on a really good lap, you know. It was really enjoyable, all flowing well.
But you've sorted it, you're out again this morning, and it seems okay now.
Yeah, great. Yeah.
Tell me something else, Dave. Having never ridden the sidecar outfit round here, but having done, like you, a lot of Grand Prix and a lot of TT races, which takes it out of you most physically? A 3-lap sidecar race or 70-odd miles in a Grand Prix?
Definitely Grand Prix. Southern 100 even more so. But TT, no, I can get off here without a sweat on even. It's a strange kind of racing, and I don't know, you might be able to find an explanation for it better than I can, but I just find it a more relaxed way of racing here.
Yeah. I think there's 2 things. One is that people would be surprised just how much time you get to relax on the TT circuit, don't you? The long straights going off to like to Balacray and Cronkavody a little bit, Sulby, certainly on the mountain.
Yeah.
That's one thing. And the other thing, it's like you say, I can't really explain it, but it is that sort of more laid-back type of race.
Yeah.
And that might sound crazy to people watching on the side of the circuit, but it's not that intense dice, is it?
No, it isn't. And of course, with the start intervals, you're on your own for more often than not. It's not often you do get into an on-road dice, but I suppose then it gets a bit hectic. But I always like to try and start number one if they allow me, and I like to get a clear road. I enjoy that. I like that kind of race.
It's not the place, even on solos, to be racing around with anyone. Not circuit, should I say, is it?
No, I like guys like Dave Jeffries and Jim Moody on these big things. God, I really don't know how they do it. People think we're mad, but I was sat at the end of pit lane this week watching them big thousands go past, and they're 50 mile an hour quicker than our bikes, and that to me is crazy. I just don't know how they hang on to them.
Well, I'm sure if I took Jim Moody or David Jeffries to places out around the circuit to watch you sidecar boys, they would say the same.
Funny enough, Dave Jeffries had broke down on Thursday afternoon at the end of the session at Kurt Michael, and he just said to me this morning, well, I'll not say what he said, but he was pretty shocked.
He probably said used the similar expletives to you that Colin Edwards used to him last night, because Colin had been at the bottom of Bray Hill yesterday watching David, and he probably used the same thing.
I can't believe people go to watch at the bottom of Bray Hill. That's just the worst place. Terrible.
Well, I think, as Colin said in there, he said, with admiration for Colin, he said, these guys have got something I haven't got.
Yeah, it's nice to hear a guy of his stature, come out and say something like that. It just put it in perspective, really. Well,
it has been mentioned over the years. Critics of the TT, very good riders. I'm not going to mention any names, saying that we're all mad and stupid and the TT shouldn't be here and all that. But there's an ex-world superbike champion saying that he appreciates what we do.
That's right. Horses for courses, isn't it? It's a thing. Like, you were brought up with this, just like I was, and I think it's easier for us to go Grand Prix racing, but not the Grand Prix riders who were brought up on short circuits to come here. It's definitely a learning job, isn't it?
An eye-opener, that's for sure. Anyway, Dave, all the best for tomorrow. You've got, of course, a race tomorrow, a race on Monday. Best of luck.
Thanks very much.
Dave Molyneux is a smashing guy, yeah, he really is. And it's amazing, isn't it? People like that, you think, how can someone who's so nice be so fast?
Yeah.
But that's often the case.
Have you ever done sidecars at all?
Yeah, I started my racing career as a sidecar passenger way back, and it was the only way, Paul, that I could get onto the race circuit. Not here, but on short circuits. I wanted to get onto that race circuit, but it was so difficult for me to do it. So the opportunity arose when a pal of mine bought a sidecar outfit and said, "Do you want to be the passenger?" I said, "Yeah, that's a great idea." Having done about half a season, crashed at most of the races we went into. Most of them, if not all. I thought, hang on a minute, no, I need to get behind, because I'd had a bit of experience of racing, of riding sidecars, not racing them, but riding them, because I used to have a couple of outfits on the road as a kid. And this lad had no idea at all. Now you imagine going into a corner, as far as I'm concerned, he's offline, he's on the wrong gear, everything's wrong, and I'm just sitting on the back leaning across thinking, oh my God. And quite often it did end in tears. So I did half a season of that, and then I got out of that, and fortunately found my way on solos. But I tell you what, I would love to do. I would love to ride an outfit. Again, not particularly around here, although it'd be very nice. But I'd love to have a go on an outfit. I think they're. I've been saying all week, the outfits now are just so much nicer and much better prepared than they used to be years ago. I'm going to go back quite a long time. They used to be a bit of a laugh, there'd be the top few, the Germans particularly, the BMWs. People like Fath, Schneider, Doyable, Prometheus, and all those sort of people who used to have very well prepared outfits, and one or two of the Brits as well. But then the rest of the field, they were held together with baling wire and string and leaking oil, and I'm sure everyone would agree with me there. But of course, the whole level of preparation has been lifted up now. This is why they always used to send and still do send the sidecars out last for practice and races, because the chances are they'd dump a load of oil all around the circuit. Oh yeah, there's no other reason than that. But of course, it's all changed now, and it's very, very professional. And it's just such a pity that the sidecar races don't get a fair crack of the whip. There used to be a Grand Prix, a sidecar Grand Prix, run alongside all the solo Grand Prix, but now they run alongside the World Superbikes, not all of them, and they are treated as second class, not citizens, not them personally, but the whole event is treated as a little bit second class.
We've got to take a break.
Yeah,
so
sure.
We've got loads more to do. Charlie, it's so nice to see you in action out here, and everyone still comes along and takes pictures of you, and it's nice. You're such a star. I love it.